The United States turns 250 this year, and the New York Times is marking the occasion by looking at something deeply personal to every American: food. In a piece titled The Pursuit of Hungriness, 250 Years of American Food Innovation, writer Kim Severson walks us through 25 inventions, crazes, and cravings that define the national diet, decade by decade. Now, American food history is short. Compared with the ancient cuisines of China, India, or the Mediterranean world, 2.5 centuries is barely a blink. And yet the United States has produced a food culture that punches far above its weight, one that has spread its flavors, its fast food, its snack aisles, and its cultural meaning to virtually every corner of the globe. Not everyone is thrilled about that influence, and Severson acknowledges the tension directly. Some of America's greatest culinary hits weren't invented here at all, they were imported, carried over by waves of immigrants who brought their home cooking with them and, over time, transformed it into something distinctly American. That process of borrowing, adapting, and reinventing is perhaps the most American food tradition of all. The examples Severson offers as anchors for this history are telling in their variety. Sliced bread, so ordinary now that it gave us the very phrase for a great invention, represents the industrialization of the American kitchen and the rise of convenience culture. Soul food tells an entirely different and far more complex story, a cuisine born of hardship and oppression that became a profound expression of Black American identity, resilience, and community. And then there's Cheetos, fluorescent, aggressively flavored, and utterly impossible to put down, standing in for the snack food revolution that made American junk food a global export and a cultural phenomenon in its own right. These three alone span centuries and social strata, from the sharecropper's kitchen to the factory floor to the convenience store shelf. And they're just 3 of 25. The full sweep of the piece covers the entire arc of the country's eating life, decade by decade, tracing how what Americans grow, cook, buy, and crave has both reflected and shaped the nation itself. There's something fitting about celebrating a country's birthday by looking at its food. What a nation eats says everything about who it is, its values, its inequalities, its ingenuity, and its appetite for reinvention. America, for all the criticism aimed at its food culture, has never stopped being hungry for what comes next. That's the story Kim Severson is telling in the New York Times, and it's one worth sitting with as the country marks 250 years. Thanks for listening.